the elephant, sat, just squashed right on my head.
What, slippery when wet?
Well, just buy a bag of peanuts, mate.
Should have done. I'm Sax.
I'm Bax.
And I'm fucking Lax.
And you are watching the Sax, Bax and Lax podcast.
Yeah,
how's that?
Fucking nuts.
My face looks quite intense. I think I've only got a small one. Oh, is it? Oh!
Yeah! Brilliant. Straight in. Straight in there. So, obviously, obviously, there is a reason that we are recording this via video rather than our normal medium, and that's because we're all in lockdown.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah.
It's out there.
There's this weird thing going on, everyone. It's called AIDS.
Yeah.
A boner virus.
Boner virus. The boner
That's
virus.
it. Yeah.
So, I think that we're just going to do sort of 10, 15 minutes of these videos just to tell everybody about how we're feeling whilst we're in lockdown.
Yeah, and just to basically give us a minute to actually fucking do something interesting, because otherwise I'm gonna fucking top myself. Whee!
Right.
Hold on.
I'm going to take out my whole family and then top myself.
yeah, good idea. That's me with tits.
Nice. Right. So, I was going to say that during lockdown, it is quite boring. But, it's not the worst thing that could happen. There's no bombs dropping. There's no one trying to shoot us. We're not at any great war as such. All we're being asked to do is pretty much stay inside. And I think the isolation is driving people a little bit mental. How are you finding it, Bax?
Well, actually, it's been really nice so far. Apart from obviously the horror that's going on out there, but so far it's actually been quite a pleasant experience, just locking down with the family, innit? Going out for walks and coming back and cooking nice food and watching TV. The only thing that's doing my nutting is finding out how long it's going to go on for, and being like, okay, I mean, this is nice and that, but fuck me, till June. Until June.
And they're also saying it could be longer than that. Lax, how are you finding it?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. I think I done all my nervousness and anxiety about it, kind of for the 2 weeks before we got properly locked down. And now, since we've gone into lockdown, I've stopped looking at all the news and stuff like that. I look at it once a day for around 6, 7 o'clock or something like that, and just watch the news for 10, 15 minutes, see what's happened. And then that's it. But before, I was listening to the radio, then looking online about it. And do you know what I mean? And you just end up in this whirlpool of shit.
Because it's almost like an overload of information sometimes, isn't it? It's almost, and not only that, you don't know what to believe, what not to believe.
Yeah, there's so much bullshit flying around. Yeah, I hate that. This is the worst possible time for fake news, isn't it? Just
100%.
That thing. You saw that video in Peckham or wherever it was. Tell them about that.
So I got sent a video through, and it was of people looting and rioting, and it was in Peckham, and how I knew that it wasn't happening on that same day was because on the bus that was on fire, there was an advert for Tomb Raider. I was like, hold on a minute, that's a really old film. And when I looked into it, it was 2011 this video was first taken. But people are sending these things thinking that, and I you know what, and I don't even think people are doing it on purpose. I think people are just trying to spread any news they can get.
They are doing it on purpose.
The first
person. But I mean, as it gets on to you guys.
Sorry. So
no
the
one's
first
doing
person
it
who did it is a
maliciously.
twat. Yeah. But why would you do that? When things are so difficult anyway, why would you do that? It just don't make any sense.
No.
But on a lighter note, just for everyone out there, you must have heard the lasagna story.
That's good.
Everyone's building a giant lasagna. Well, that was my mate Billy from football. He sent it. Well, sorry, Alan. Yeah, it's my mate Alan from football. He sent it to our little WhatsApp group, And I was like, I pissed myself laughing. I went, that is the best one I've heard, because there was a couple of them floating about, like, just saying they
Explain
like,
it. Explain it.
Well, I don't think anyone even needs it explaining, but so he said, because lots of people are saying, oh, my mate has got someone who works in the NHS and they've heard that you can, this is going to be really bad and that sort of stuff. And then he just sent round his one saying, oh, my sister's cousin or whatever, she works for the government and they've heard that they're going to be building a giant lasagna. Oh, look, Lax has disappeared off the screen. They're building them, constructing the massive sheets and all that stuff, and then they're going to cook it in Wembley and all this stuff. And I was like, that is brilliant. So I told him I'm going to make him go viral and shared it. And I'm sure maybe a few other people did, but I am the fucking one. I take all the credit for that.
High five.
Boom. He was on the news and everything. Did you see him on the news?
No, I think you sent a link through.
Yeah, he was interviewed on the TV about it. It's fucking madness. Within about an hour of me doing it, I got it sent back from someone in Australia. It's fucking madness. Yeah, that's how quickly stuff spreads. And he's going on the telly going, yeah, the reason I did it was to prove about how easily this stuff gets shared and spread, fake news. It's like, fuck off, it wasn't. You just did it for a laugh.
Well, is there any chance maybe we could possibly put a link in the description or put a link somewhere?
We could interview him.
Let's do it. I'm up for doing that.
We'll do that in the next one.
Okay, but is there any chance maybe we could put a link or the video, the audio for what he said?
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find it on YouTube or whatever and put it up for anyone who hasn't heard it.
So on a bit more of a serious note, I would imagine that divorce is probably going to go up in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's going to be a baby boom in about 9 months' time.
Yeah. So going to be a lot of fatherless dads. Sorry.
Say again. Yeah.
A lot of fatherless sons.
God, I'd be lying if I said I'd miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would imagine. I mean, like,
Luke's fucked up again.
No, I can still see him. It'll be fine. We know that he's still there. With sort of being locked down and having an argument with your other half, it must be very difficult. I live on my own. My missus doesn't live with me, so I don't have that. If we have an argument, if you guys have an argument, you can't go anywhere. You just have to sort of walk into a different room. And Bax was telling me a story yesterday, Lax, about some guy that got caught cheating.
Yeah, this is someone I know said that just before it, he got collared cheating by his wife, and then they had to go to lockdown together.
Oh my God.
I don't know what you would say. What do you say? Sorry about that. Can we just forget it for a couple of weeks? And, what do you say?
Just build a wank then, because that's what it's
chill out and like get over it in some sort of way. I don't know.
Anxiety levels must be through the roof, mate. Just sitting there, oh God.
Especially if it's a 1-bedroom flat.
Yeah, that's mad. Like, I feel very privileged to have a house with a garden and I've got like a couple of floors that you can sort of move about the house and stuff. So many people are in like in a high-rise block, no garden, nothing. How fucking mad it must be for them. I just feel so sorry for them. So horrible.
It's so crazy that we've never had anything like this in our lifetime, ever had to do anything like this. And the fact that this is happening is just incredible. Like, I can't get my head around it. It just seems like something out of a film.
I know. I have had loads of mornings. I mean, not anymore, but at the beginning, I kept waking up thinking, is it over? Like, was it a dream? It's that mad. It feels like it's been a fucking dream because it's that mad, isn't it? That's what happens in dreams. Mad shit like that happens.
Well, you have that moment when you wake up, don't you? And it's like you forget about it for and then suddenly you kind of wake up and you're like, oh, it's the morning, oh great, and you're like, oh yeah, the world's fucked. Yeah. And then it just comes straight back. But I've stopped getting really worked up about it. I'm almost just like, right, well, I mean, as someone, I can't remember, I spoke to my great aunt. She's like got emphysema and she's like almost 80. And she seemed all right about it. She's like, yeah, but we went through the war and we were getting bombed and all this kind of stuff. Really,
getting bummed.
Getting bummed in the war.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
You don't know that.
It wasn't bad enough they were at war. People kept bumming them. Jesus.
Yeah.
Terrible. So you two got.
Yeah, you're right. I know what you mean. Like, this is nothing. Like all we have to do to win this war is sit at home in our pants.
And we're being paid for it. Oh well,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So you two have got what? You got a beer each?
Yeah. Oh yeah, mate.
Got the CBD there, haven't I?
Oh, nice. Yeah. You're all right. Tell everyone about how anxious you were, Saxon. Your plan at the beginning.
Oh, so I definitely thought it'd be zombies and not a virus.
Really, tell everyone this plan, Scott. It's going to ruin it.
Say again? Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I could tell them, but I just won't tell them where the final place is.
Yeah, which one? Just don't tell them which one.
Yeah. Okay. So
sorry, no burping. No burping on the podcast.
My plan was to when it
arsehole and farted into the camera, but you're worried about doing that.
Burps are different though.
That's true.
Go on, hurry up.
So my plan was, and I'd even told my boss I was going to go to our yard and get the HGV, the 40-foot lorry, come back here, load it up with all my essentials and loved ones, and then just drive to Centre Park. Because at Centre Park, you can fish there, you can hunt there, we can all have a cabin each, because it's not the virus. It's not the virus that scares me, it's people. Because people are going mad. I want to share this with you guys, right?
You can go on a lazy river there.
Yeah. What better place to spend it? Like, I've
got Cafe Rouge. Like,
I haven't got to pay for any restaurants. It would be great. So I want to share this thought with you, right? I am, for the most part of my life, quite a rational person, right? I think most people are. So 95, 96% of the time, we're quite rational. But the other day, well, a couple of weeks ago, I was driving into work and I thought, if I just pulled over in my car right now, with everything that's going on, and just decided to have a wank, would anyone stop me? And I thought, probably not, because people are just going crazy at the moment. But then I thought, so I have irrational thoughts, but I'm a rational person. So irrational thoughts, rational person, because I have that little voice that goes, yeah, but don't do that. So I have these crazy thoughts, I just don't act on them. But there are people out there that definitely don't have that voice and go, that'd be a great idea, I'll stop and do that.
A bit of a disconnect.
Yeah. But what makes you think that they're not going to be in Centre Parks? I don't understand why you think Centre Parks.
You can definitely stop and have a wank in Centre Parks.
I'm going to ask you both a question. How ludicrous is the Centre Parks idea?
Mostly ludicrous.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. Nobody else would have thought about it. That's why there's going to be nobody in Centre Parks. See?
You're going to have to think of somewhere else now, aren't you? Butlins.
Yeah.
No.
Hang on. Yeah,
Butlins. I'd go Butlins because they've got redcoats who look after my boy.
Right. Yep.
And like pubs built into it.
They're all shut.
Yeah. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't do it. I'll just stay at home and die.
Mm. Yeah. So would I. That's
but I mean,
I'd sort of offer my family up as like sacrifice. Take my son.
Give me a pint.
Just don't take my food.
Right.
Or my beer.
So
I wouldn't really, my little baby.
You've
Alan,
said it
I
already.
love you.
It's said
I love you. I love you. When we're all dead at the end and you're left behind, just remember, I love you, son. I love you. Stop. Your shits are disgusting as well.
I don't know what's happening.
I got it on my fingernails the other day. It's disgusting.
Right.
Anyway,
are we done?
I ripped it.
Yeah. How many drinks have you actually had?
2.
Right. Okay. Fair enough then.
I'm like an alcoholic now, though, isn't it? It just takes me 1 and it pushes me over the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
How's your drinking, Lax?
Well, as I was saying to someone earlier, like whereas most like in the weekdays now, if when I'm at work, my weekday routines are usually like one beer or one glass of wine and a joint, and that's turned or half a joint, and that's turned into two or three beers and a full joint. Here we go. Oh! So everything's just gone slightly more and every day basically. But at the moment, like, I don't care anything at the moment. Just whatever you got to do to get through this, just do it.
My advice, though, to you and to everyone who's all 5 of the people who watch this,
One second. Before you give that advice, remember you're a man wearing a t-shirt with your own face with boobs on, and you've got your arse out twice. I don't think anyone's going to listen to your advice.
It's advice. Take it or leave it. Is be careful, because this is going to go on for a long time. And if you set a precedent now of drinking loads every day, thinking, I'll just get through it, and then you carry on, after you've been doing it for 2 months, you might actually have a serious problem at the end of that. And that's true.
Yeah.
Curb it now, and then just do it as a treat,
It's still only two to three drinks a night, but then at weekends I'm smashing a bottle and a half of wine.
Yeah. I've just gone on to heroin. I'm simply just doing heroin now because it's a lot easier. It relaxes me. Just one heroin a day.
Yeah.
It might be worse.
How have you been filling your days then? Go on then. I mean, Barry, you'd probably be less interesting because you've had a lot of work through me. Nothing.
My name's Bax.
Sorry, Bax, yeah.
Yeah, just routine. I made a routine because we've got to look after the boy, little AJ. So we've made like a nursery routine. So he does like my Sally did it. Obviously, I didn't do it. But it's brilliant because it gives us a routine, and it makes us not think what we can do with him now. He's got like messy play, and then he goes out in the garden for an hour, and then we take him out somewhere, lunch, change his shitty nappy. It does work, and then you put him to bed, and then we just have an evening, I don't know, punching each other in the face all night or something. Yeah. Anything, just kicking each other up the arsehole all night.
Scott,
Sax. What have I been doing? I have a strict routine just so I know where I am and I'm not losing my mind. I wake up, I masturbate, I eat bacon, I lay on my sofa, masturbate, and then go to bed.
You always know by what time you're masturbating. You know exactly by the hour, yeah?
It's like a sundial.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cum dial. If you I actually believe that, well, it's true, a lot of people say that humans crave routine, and if you let it all go out the window now, I think people are going to go a bit mad. So for your sanity, and in fact it was our friend Sally, who runs the Dream Project, she shared a thing that said all these ideas of like how you should keep a routine going, and how I'll try and find that and share it because it's really useful. I thought it was a really great idea for your mental health. This is a big fucking time for mental health right now. Everyone's going to go mental if they don't sort it out.
Yeah. Well,
we've kind of done it half and half what you're doing. So we're keeping a routine of we get up and we watch telly with him till like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Then we all masturbate together as a family.
Then the telly goes off, and then basically me and Jude have been doing the garden together, and then in the afternoon we'll go for like a walk. So we're not pressuring ourselves to like try and teach him anything or like but we're making sure he doesn't have telly from 9 till 5. Basically, like we're always doing something with him or playing with him or keeping him entertained and doing a bit of writing with him and stuff like that. But there's no like, right, this hour we definitely do this hour we definitely do that. But a lot of garden work, he seems to be loving that.
So it's a bit different for me because
wouldn't he, like his old man?
Yeah, my kids are a little bit older, so it's a little bit different. So whereas your AJ and your AJ, you can sort of go, you're doing this, and they kind of go, okay, you sort of guide them along. I tell my kids, we're going to do this. They go, yeah, just can't be bothered to do that. And I go, right, okay. So it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But, it's strange because I want to keep a set routine, but then you've got to understand, like, they're bored as well, and they've got nothing else that they want to do. You know, there's nothing else for them to do. And I feel that you just need to go, all right, listen, today you just go and do what you've got to do. Because I don't want anyone just exploding and just going crazy. So you just go and, you know, I think it's very important to give them a day off, I guess.
Well, you wanted to do your garden. You've always wanted to do your garden. You've been going on about doing your garden for ages. This is a chance to do it. Get out and burn off a bit of energy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this now. I've been eating so much. What are you doing?
Barry,
Having a whack.
Barry's turned into a child.
You know, we were talking about mental health.
We need to wrap this up now.
Yeah.
Right.
Wrap up, wank.
Give another one anyway.
Okay, so listen.
Yeah.
listen,
I just
we're
want
just
to
gonna
say
do-
as well, everyone, anyone who's listening, we've released the first episode of season 2 of our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, whatever. Because we're not going to be able to finish it, basically, this series for a long time. There's one more episode as well where we interview someone we know who works as a hostess at sex parties and stuff, which is pretty interesting. So check them out.
Soon.
Yeah, next week on tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, what date is it? What date is that tomorrow?
It's Monday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, but what date?
The 30th.
Okay,
30th of March.
We
okay.
we all get a little bit excited in that one, don't we? And talk over each other a little bit because it's all
Oh,
sexy.
yeah.
We get a bit
Yeah,
boned.
we turn into children.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was worth it anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
so check it out, anyone. And we'll do more of these as well, won't we? Because
Yeah.
we need to, really, for our
Yeah.
mental health.
Maybe with a little less drinking back, so a little bit more structure. Who knows? No.
A little more wanking.
Oh, that was
right.
a big.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Right.
I'm
So
big
listen. No. Let's
Oh,
not break format. I don't know who you think you are.
Hi.
Are you now the guy who does that, Lax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You taking over?
Anyway, I've been sacked.
Yeah.
See you later.
I feel like